piggybacking off of our message from last week, we're looking for a few good midwives. We're going to teach, we're going to preach with this thought in our hearts and in our minds. We're looking for a few good mamas. We're looking for a few good mamas. Hallelujah. Their life. And I love that because here, even before Moses got on the scene, even before we ever knew about Moses, there were people that were working on his behalf. Come on, I'm already preaching. I'm trying to tell you that even before Moses got here, in fact, we would not even know Moses. Moses would not even be born if it was not for Shiphrah, if it was not for Puah, if it was not for these individuals that took a stand and did what they needed to do. In fact, can I tell you, not only were they some good midwives, but they were some good mamas. You know how I know they were some good mamas? Because they were defenders of dignity. Yes, they were. They were defenders of dignity. I want to give honor. And I want to give praise on this Mother's Day for some mamas that we don't even know. Lord have mercy. Some defenders of dignity long before we ever got here. I'm talking about people like Harriet Tubman. I'm talking about people like Sojourner Truth. I'm talking about people like Ida B. Wells and Rosa Parks and Coretta Scott King. I'm talking about people like Madam C.J. Walker. I'm talking about people, that fought for us and people that stood up for us way before we got here. But I don't got to stop with them. I can talk about my maternal grandmother. I could talk about Miss Lula Mae Drakewood. I could talk about my paternal grandmother, Miss Annie Bell McKinney. I could talk about my aunties, Lord have mercy. Those individuals that I do know. But they had an influential place in my life. And I am who I am because of my family, the Francis Princes of Life. The Lou Doris Drakewood, my aunt that I never met that was long gone before I was ever born. Daisy Gilmore, Reverend Betty J. Montgomery, Diane Bumpers, Minister Georgia Lockhart. My great aunt Alfreda Taylor. I'm talking about people that defended the dignity before there was ever William Jacoby Nesbitt III, but they did what they need to do. Is there anybody in here that is a product of some people that fought for you before you got here? Is anybody a product of some people that stood in a gap for you before you got here? They were praying before you was ever a twinkle in your daddy's eye. Somebody was standing in the gap for you. We ought to give God praise for them right now. Good mothers are diligent despite danger. Dude, we live in some dangerous times, but I'm so glad for some good mamas. I'm so glad for some good believing mothers that know their responsibility and know what's going out here in the world. And Pastor, not just trying to impress you with some theological terms. I had to learn this myself. I had to make application of my life to myself to be able to test the pulse of the culture, to be able to see what's going on. Why are all our young people falling away from the house of God? Why so many people? You spend all them years, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, pouring into your child, raising your child, and the first person that come and start whispering sweet nothings in the ear, why they being plucked up? Why all of a sudden you've been telling them the truth all their life, but now they read one book or see one podcast, and all of a sudden everything you taught them is a lie. They're discerning destiny. She saw this was a fine child, and the scripture says in Hebrews 11:23, they saw that the child was beautiful. She saw something in Moses. She saw something in this boy, and because she saw something this is what a good mama will see something in their child. I'm not gonna let the school tell me the limitations of my child. I see something in my baby. I see something in my child. I'm not even gonna let my parents and my family tell me what's going on with my child. But a mama sees potential. A mama sees not what a child is, but what a child can be. I'm talking about some good mamas. You got to be able to see. I don't care what they born with. I don't care whatever they diagnose them with. I don't care what they categorize them. A real mama see that everybody got some good, and my baby is beautiful. Come on here. I'm looking for some mamas that'll tell their child every day, you're beautiful. You're handsome. You're a world changer. You can do whatever it is that God have called you to do. I'm trying to find some folk that see something in their kids. Are you being diligent about shaping their destiny, and you're telling them and you're instructing them and you're pouring into them? Because that's what a good mama do. In fact, good mamas develop through discipline. I know this part of the message is not going to be very popular right here. I know the godly parents discipline their children because they know that it reduces foolishness. The godly parents discipline their children because they know it rescues them from judgment. Can I talk about discipline for a second? The godly parents discipline their children because they know that it helps them receive wisdom. The godly parents discipline their children because they know that it helps relieve them from worry. Yeah, it does. Relieve them from some worry. The godly parents discipline their children because they know that their children are, that when I do this, it reflects the character of God. The godly parents discipline their children because they know that discipline reminds them that you love them. Oh, anybody? Because of what's going on, I see Moses' mother make a decision that delivers. Yes, sir. I'm looking for some good mamas that'll make a decision that delivers. His mother, she made a decision. Lord have mercy. That delivered. Let me deal with two sides to this coin, because I'm peeking some principles here, because I want to talk to some folk, because I've learned since I've been pastoring, I've learned something very, very interesting, that everybody's not happy about Mother's Day. I've learned this. It's not just the fact that maybe your mother has gone to heaven, and we'll talk about that just in a second, but everybody not happy about Mother's Day because of their relationship that they had or didn't have with their mother. I want to minister to some people just for a moment. As Moses' mother released him by faith, some of us was raised by parents that released us by foolishness. Maybe they were too young to have a child. And here, because of the fact that they released, like Moses' mother released him into a crocodile-infested river. He couldn't fend for himself, couldn't protect himself, but his mama released him. And there are some of us that were raised by some parents, or raised by a mother in particular. Where maybe they birthed me. But then they released me into a world that I wasn't ready for. I want to talk to some people that you're not so ecstatic about Mother's Day, because when you think about your relationship with your mother, maybe they didn't provide for you. Maybe they didn't protect you. Maybe they just said they just can't do it no more. And they were absent in your life. I want to talk to some folk that had some absentee mothers. Everybody's mother wasn't Claire Huxtable. But there's some people that got some mamas that they was out there doing their own thing and living their own life. And they was absent on your birthdays. They was absent, didn't help you get ready for the prom. They were absent, didn't talk to you about the birds and the bees and about little boys. They were absent, didn't tell you about the changes in your body. I'm trying to talk to some people. Your mama didn't bake you cookies. Your mama didn't have birthday parties for you. Maybe your mama abused you physically, verbally, emotionally, and she never apologized and refused to apologize. I'm trying to talk to some people, mama, who mothers released them because they was in the street, released them because they were too wrapped up in their man, released them because they was on them drugs, released them because they was in the club, released them because they were doing their own thing, and they left you to fend for yourself, and they left you to be able to take care of your siblings. They left you with grandma and left you in the adoption system. I need to talk to some people right now that maybe Mother's Day may not give you a warm and fuzzy feeling. But can Pastor Kobe give you a word? In spite of everything that our mothers did, in spite of who they were and who they weren't. I love what Dr. Wesley says. He said, love them for who they are and forgive them for who they were not. Lord have mercy. One thing we got in common, all of us have a life giver. All of us have a birth giver. She carried you long enough to be able to sacrifice her body to carry you for 9 months. So you ought to tell the Lord, thank you for what she did, and forgive her for who she was not. You carrying that grudge in your heart, not gonna do anything. You not releasing. I know they wasn't there. I know they never called you. I know they wasn't at your wedding. I know they didn't help you plan for it, let alone show up for it. But I'm looking for somebody that'll let them go the way God lets you go. That will release them the way God released you. Well, you can't keep on dangling that over your head all your life. You got to let it go. Somebody say, let it go, let it go, let it go. I'm getting ready to roll up out of here. That's one side of the coin. But I got to tell you to here, that's not Jochebed's testimony. She did what she did by faith. And I'm looking for some people. My mama in particular. She did everything that she could. Jochebed hid Moses for 3 months. She did all that she could. Then she put her baby boy, built the ark, and put her baby boy in the safety. She did all that she could. Is there anybody in the house had a mama that did the best that she could with what she had? She didn't have a whole lot of money. She was not the most educated person in the world. But she did the best that she could with what she had. Can I tell you that parenting will humble you? When you're raising your own children, you'll say, Lord have mercy, I'm so sorry I was so hard on my mom and daddy. Because parenting will teach you. It'll teach you to hear that most time people try to do what they can, and I'm trying to raise up a group of people that'll do the very best that you can with what you have. Maybe you blowed it as a parent. Maybe you was always working. Maybe you were still in the street life. But God will let you get another chance with your grandbabies. Make it up with your grandbaby. You maybe wasn't there the way you want to be there, but give God some praises. He'll let you do it again.